Okay, well, good morning. Welcome to Monday Mobility. We're going to get this session going. Just FYI, if you have any trouble and you get shut out of this session because I just reset a new router in my house and I think it's working, but just in case, just so you know, that's what's going on. So let's grab your foam roller and let's first start with a little bit of adductor, but for the most part, I really want to work through the cervical spine, through the thoracic spine, and through the hips today. So we're gonna start working with ankle mobility and as it relates to adductors. So grab your foam roller, hold it at chest height, and the first movement that we really want to make sure of is that we're getting the knee way over the toe and just working through that ankle, working through the knee, and also working through the hip. So let's do that one a couple times first. Drive that knee, keep the heel on the ground, and just drive through that. Let's see how that compares to the other side. So same thing. Knee is out at about 10:30, so this would be midnight. That'd be 3 p.m. Take that out to about 2:30. And we're just driving that knee way over the toe. You should get a little bit of stretch in the calf. A little bit below the calf is that soleus. And we just want to keep making sure that we can always keep the heel on the ground and get the knee over the toe. Just nice and steady. Let's go back to that first side. Knees going over the toe. Now we're just going to take that thoracic spine. We're going to rotate away. And we're going to got 10 of these. 3, 4, keep your posture really tall. 5, 6, 7, good, and 10, good. Obviously that's going to get us a little bit up into the hip as well. All right here, let's go other side. Foam roller up at chest height, shoulders are low, shoulders are away from the ears, okay? Here we go. Nice and high. Not gripping and grabbing the foam roller, but just rather just holding it. Hold it up. Keep that posture strong. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Definitely starting to feel a little bit more adductor on this side. All right. Before we get into that T-spine once again, let's keep working on that lower body. We call this a lateral half kneeling position. And from right here, let's make sure, once again, working through the ankle, making sure that the pinky toe is on the ground. There is a position of inversion for the ankle. So if you took that, it would look like that, right? As opposed to eversion. So you need to have both of those. And we're just going to go ahead and push the hips back. Keep the spine tall. You might even just straighten your elbows a little bit. And we just want to work back through the hip and through that inner thigh. If you trained hard this weekend, A, congratulations, good job. B, you're going to be thankful for a little bit of Mobility Monday. All right, hands forward, hips back. Especially if you're training for stuff like Kona, or if you're a pro that's doing Dallas US Open, PTO 100K distance. Starting to get really excited about St. George, fall marathons, big bike rides. The fall is such a wonderful time to just get outside and just use that physical self and all that fitness from the summer. Okay, push the hips back again one more time. We'll be coming back to lateral half kneeling in just a second. Create space. Push those hands forward and push those hips back. All right, change to the other side. Push those hips back, hands forward. And once again, my right side is showing a little bit more tightness than my left. having broken my ankle earlier in the summer, that kind of makes sense for me. It means my left leg is almost back to work, but because I'm feeling my right side a little bit more, I would say that I'm still probably overusing my right side a little bit relative to my left. Okay, so let's go into that 90-90 position. You're sitting on the right butt. The right knee is straight out from your hip. The left knee is out to the side. The left knee is at a 90-degree angle. And from right here, you're just gonna drop your chest straight down. 2, we'll just go 5 of those. 3, and I'm having to push myself out of that a little bit. 4, so I wanna make sure I'm using the muscles. So I just remove the hands, okay? Same thing other side, sitting on your left butt. Left knee coming straight out. Left leg straight out. Drop down into that. Gently the first time. 2. We got 5 of these. 3. 4. And 5. Stay down. Oh, lift your hands and just pull yourself right out of that. Okay, right back to that lateral half kneeling. We're going to start adding that thoracic spine in. Make sure the pinky toes down. Hips are back. Left leg is out. Left arm is going under. 1. And then we're going to go all the way to the sky here. Down and under. 2. Down and under. 3. 4. And 5. Okay, same thing other side. Push back. Right leg is out. Right hand is under. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, back to the foam roller. And we want to talk a little bit about shifting, all right? So there's a lateral stability that the body needs when it's in motion to keep us from falling the hip out to the side like this. It's a if you lack lateral stability, your hip is going to fall out. Your hip is going to fall out. So in order to get those muscles just kind of doing their job, a lot of times we will just shift. So as you shift laterally, you're going to feel tension in that lateral right behind the hip. It's called the TFL, tensor fascia lata. And it goes down into the IT band. So there's a nice muscle up here that goes down into a fascial band. So let's just shift the hip to the right. Shift the hip to the right. 3, 4, and 5. And that gives us mobility, movement, in that TFL. And in order for TFL to work well, he needs mobility. 2, if not, he tends to get really tight. 3, 4, and then he becomes less active. And 5. There's an entire lateral system there that goes with that TFL through the obliques and into the lats. So let's take the foam roller and we're going to shift the hip to the left and just drop the upper body to the right. And you can use the foam roller to add intensity to that big stretch. 3, and you can see my head is turning sideways. And that helps keep my spine really straight. Okay? Same thing other side. We're going to shift the right hip to the right. and gently side bend left. 2. Using that foam roller to make sure that right arm is really long. That'll also, if we side bend a little bit more, that'll get into that QL, that low back, that sometimes if your hips get locked up, tends to overwork. Okay, good. All right, so the next one, we're gonna work the knee over the toe. This knee is at midnight, and we're gonna go straight forward, hands on hips, and I want you to go ahead and take your head and look straight up, and then tuck your chin and come back, and be very gentle with that through your C-spine until you feel comfortable there. We're working through those big neck flexors. Rock the hips forward. Look straight up with the eyes. We got a couple more of those. Good. And one more. Hip forward. And look straight up. Okay, good. Let's do the same thing on the other side. So we start to connect that the head is definitely connected to the hips, and how we can move can affect the hips. And if you lack mobility in the cervical area, it can impose a little bit of restriction or lack of really good function through your hips. Okay, so let's go straight here. Other side. Just being really patient. Couple more. And one more. Good. All right, staying in that full kneeling position. Put your hands on your hips. Your hips are nice and flat, so you're gonna just engage pubic bone to belly button just a little bit. I hate the word tuck your tailbone, but I'll say it. You wanna kind of tuck your tailbone. And from right there, I want you to just drop your chin straight down and come back to neutral. Drop your chin. Keep those hips nice and flat. 2, 3. Keep those hips flat. 4. And 5. Good. From that same position, flat hips here. So we've got pubic bone to belly button. There's maybe a little bit of glute activation going on down there. So these are flat, not pointy. If I just let my hips sit naturally, I roll into an anterior tilt. So I have to stay pretty engaged. From right here, nice long eyes. Turn to the left. See if you can touch your chin to your shoulder. Turn to your right. Chin to shoulder. Just like that. We got 5 each side. 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. One more. 5 and 5. All right, back to half kneeling. We're going to work through the head a little bit. We're going to work through the hips a little bit, and we're going to work through that thoracic spine. So all of it. We're going to shift to the right. So make sure that your knee is down and it's your right leg. And we're just head wrapping to the left, and we take it around. Big circles. 2, 3, 4. So we're doing kind of like circles with the hips too. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Let's go to the other side. We're going to shift the hip to the left. Foam roller goes to the right. 1. Big motion here. 2. 3. Feel that TFL right there. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. Shoulders, feeling it. And 10. All right, good. Let's bring it up into a standing position. Put the foam roller to the side. From right there, let's go into kind of a wide stance. We're going to just shift to the right. Touch the foot with the left hand. Right there. And come right back up. This morning I was reading a study about VO2 max declining as we age. Well, if you continue to train, it doesn't decline as much. If not, you'll be able, based on your genetics, you'll be able to perhaps hold it even more longer in your life and throughout your lifespan and health span. Those are two different concepts. So it resonated with me more than anything to just, if you have the orthopedic setup to maintain training at a high level, you have a much better chance of maintaining your VO2 max. So it adds a lot more importance, not only to strength, but how you move your body. And that's your mobility practice that you're showing up for every Monday with me. So if you're moving well, you have the opportunity to get stronger. And if you stay strong and mobile, you have the opportunity to maintain that beautiful capacity for work. Okay, from right there, push the hips to the back, hands to the front, and back to the middle. And it's very simple. It's just a matter of continuing the journey, right? So I try to be as consistent as I possibly can. I think people are appreciating it. If you have any friends that you think need to just commit to a practice of mobility that isn't too woo-woo, I can get woo-woo, like yoga and thought-provoking, but more than anything, I'm just passionate about athletic performance. Okay, ready? We're gonna go side to side again, just really simple. Glide to the right, tap with the left. 3, 4, 5. I had the pleasure of 6 bringing some friends. Some of you who are triathlon fans might know Timothy O'Donnell, Miranda Carfrey. We went up to a friend's lake up at 9,000 feet, and Tim did some training in their lake up at Glacier Lake. And you know, he felt so good, and it was just so nice to be surrounded with cool water. And he and I just decided, you know, aside from winning races, just being able to do stuff like that, be able to just put on a wetsuit and jump in a mountain lake, or better yet, maybe no wetsuit, but to be able to play and enjoy nature in the way that we want to and expect to, those are the anchors that will hopefully keep you focusing on your health, your mobility, and your strength. That left foot of mine is getting better every day. Good job. Other side, we're just going those foot grabs. A couple more. Knee way to the back, hip is open. Knee to the back, hip is open. Happy Labor Day if you're in the United States. If you're anywhere else in the world, I hope you have an amazing Monday. Use this session again throughout the week. You can also go back in the library. Everything is available to do mobility. You could dedicate an entire week to mobility and just do one every single day. I try to keep them around 15 to 20 minutes. Peace out, everybody. Have a good Monday.